Mia Khalifa, take one. Sucio Talk. What's up? ¿Qué está pasando contigo? Aquí estamos. Vamos para encima. Got the reissue episode of Mia Khalifa. That's episode 5. All right, big foodie. I met her because she used to come in to eat at the restaurant on Meadowood quite a bit. Also, used to come into Charter Oak. So that's how I sort of met her. She's a foodie, you know. She's into food and wine, things like that. So when I did this episode, she was with Chef Robert Sandberg. They were a couple at that time. So the episode is called Power Couple Power Moves. They are not together any longer. I'm sure they're, everyone usually is better off for it when you're not with somebody anymore. So if anybody's going through that out there, it's going to be okay. I recently, not recently, but lost someone I cared about. It's always hard losing people that you spend a lot of time with, losing people that become your best friend. And then you all of a sudden have a person that you can't talk to anymore. You can't just call them. It's hard to be friends, It's nothing I wish on anybody. It's a very hard thing. But at the end of the day, it's all good. You'll bounce back from it. You'll probably be better off for it. And at the end of the day, like I'm trying to have a harem out here. You know what I'm saying? In that poly life. You know what I mean? Maybe like three, four girlfriends, live in the same house. 2 California kings put together. That would be the dream right there. Anyways, I digress. All right. Talk about the Mia Khalifa episode. I'm going to read off the post that I wrote about the episode. This episode was dropped on December 21st, 2020. December 21st, 2020. Here we go. Episode 5, Sucio Talk. Check out episode 5 of Sucio Talk, where I had a chance to catch up with Mia Khalifa and Robert Sandberg. Mia Khalifa is a badass that needs no introduction. We talked about what she's been up to during pandemic and her efforts to better the world one good deed at a time. Chef Robert Sandberg goes into detail about his time coming up in Sweden as a young chef to working at Noma, where he spent a couple of years before going to work at Restaurant Franson and being part of the team when they received their 3 Michelin stars. Interesting talk with these humble and wonderful people I know you will enjoy. Also tune in to hear about a special New Year's Eve event brought to you by Truffle Shuffle. That was when they did their buyout event with the Speakeasy in San Francisco, and they did it all virtual. Very cool. A lot of people attended. That was a New Year's Eve bash that they did. At that point, December 21st, I drove down to LA. This was a time where COVID, very unsure. People were wearing masks and shit. You're not supposed to really be traveling, but I said, fuck it. I'm going to make this shit happen. So, I haven't had COVID till this day. So there's that. But I went to go see Mia and Robert. Lovely home, lovely pets. And fucking amazing human being. Honestly, like what she's been able to do with OnlyFans alone, I think she donated over $600,000 to the Lebanese Red Cross. So it's all these people that we judge that usually do the best deeds. Look at Guy Fieri. No one else helped the restaurant industry during the fucking pandemic. Who helps him out? A guy who wears his sunglasses on the back of his fucking head. You know what I'm saying? A guy that you look at and you judge. I've judged him. Been like, oh, you're going to open another shitty restaurant? But then look what he's doing with his profits. Look what he's doing with his money. He's saving people. He's helping people. And that's more than any fucking 3 Michelin star chef has ever done for the world, Because, when you're cooking at that level, it's very, I'd say selfish because you're serving other people. But, you're also serving yourself a little bit, But he has used his powers for good. He's very selfless. Like, in all the years of there being celebrity chefs, have you ever heard of another chef like him? Right? Him, Jose Andres, like they're all in the same echelon of chefs who just want to help, and they're doing that, through their various organizations and the ability to have a lot of capital, and that is what Sucio Talk will be at a certain point. All right. So with that, I leave you. This is episode 5. Mia Khalifa, Robert Sandberg, cool ass motherfucker. He actually opened up a restaurant in LA. I'm gonna look it up right here. Sometimes when I do the show, I'm like, yo, this show's got to be professional. Like, it's got to be fucking one shot straight through. At the end of the day, I don't have any fucking media training. I don't have a teleprompter. I'm the producer, the writer, the host, the lighting guy. I got to feed myself. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on here. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that it's a struggle. Is it an excuse? Hell no. I'm going to get this regardless. But it's going to take a while to get there. And I really, really, really do appreciate you guys for sticking with me. You know, sending me those messages like, hey, love the show, but the audio is a little shitty. You know, at the end of the day, I don't want to ruin anybody's fucking podcast, anybody's life story. I don't want to ruin that shit with shitty quality audio or video. Has it happened? Yes. Did I still go with it? 100%. I wasn't going to hold it back, because I like to live through my embarrassments because they make me better, and that's just how I learn, Chef Robert Sandberg, Los Angeles, like Stone Cold Steve Austin used to say. You guys think that's a good impression of Stone Cold Steve Austin? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you're listening to the Sucio Talk podcast. Give me a hell yeah. Ay, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Habitui. I'm probably saying that shit wrong. Dinners by invitation, bro? Hold up. Habitui, dinners by invitation. That means, bro, if you don't get invited to this shit, you don't fucking go. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta check them out. Probably got some cool food. Robert Sandberg, invite me to fucking Habichua, Los Angeles, motherfucker. Go out there, eat some habichuelas at your fucking restaurant. Let's go. I'll make you some mofongo if you let me in. Should probably take this time to call out chefs that I want on the podcast. Jeremy Fox, I've been calling you, bro. Hit me up. You know my Instagram. Tyler Chu, let him know. Show him this clip right here. We want you up in Oakland, all right? Hell, fuck, I'll travel, man. I'll go down there. I'll go anywhere. Don't matter. It's been tough, though, man. I'll tell you, I haven't been fully employed in a while. I was personal chefing. It didn't work out. I left. Been sort of living off savings. A lot of people are always asking me, like, how do you afford to live? It's like, trust me, motherfucker. I'll take care of myself. Thank you. But I think I'm getting into that part of my life where I'm like, I think I need to get something. You know what I mean? I need to find something. And before rushing back into something, I need to, make sure that it's the right thing. And man, I'll tell you, man, I'm itching to get back into a kitchen, but I know that that's a big commitment. And with this podcast that I want to be my bigger commitment, it's hard to balance those two things. So I'm going to hold off, but I know at some point, if I don't get some other type of gig that I'm happy with, I'm going to break down and become executive chef somewhere. I think the ideal situation would be to find a mom and pop situation where maybe they are too old to run the business, and then I can come in, take over. All they have to do is like take care of the fucking paperwork. I'll come in, I'll make a new menu, change the concept, same space. We don't got to buy nothing. I'll just fucking make it work, chef. And then, do tasting menus out of there. And again, I want to do intense tasting menus. I'm not about delicate flavors, so I'm not going to start the meal off with a light this, light that, and then move into something heavier. It's going to fucking go boom from the beginning. You're going to be like, where do we go from here? This doesn't make any sense. And then at the end of the meal, you're like, damn, bro. You know? It's like some of that sex. No, I'm kidding. So, at first I was beating myself up for not looking at the camera, looking over here, looking over there. There's also this thing that I use. I'm bringing this up right here, right? So, I gotta make sure that is doing the right thing. It's recording the video and the audio, so I need to make sure that I look good, it looks good. Take things away, put things back on. You know what I mean? Some of this action. See, that's how I cover that computer screen right there. You see that? So, once again, where the fuck are we? We are at Mia Khalifa episode 5. So please enjoy. Once again, she is not with Robert Sandberg anymore. She is with, what's his name? J Balvin? Is it J Balvin? Mia Khalifa man. You gotta love Google. You just fucking type anything in, it shows you. Mia Khalifa man. Jay Cortez, Puertorriqueño, reggaeton artist. I think he met her at the concert she did with Bad Bunny, and she was up on the en el Coliseo in Puerto Rico. She was up on there was like a mattress suspended above the stage, and she was up there. So there's some pretty cool shit happening in the world with artists, things like that. And out of all the cool things that have been done already, I hope that I can make something cool enough for you guys to enjoy and be up there amongst the greatest forms of entertainment that you take in every day. And sad to hear, one of the reasons that I started doing this podcast, and the guys that I look up to a lot, Deezus and Mero, are not going to be going back on Showtime together. I hope it's a hoax. I hope it's a lie. In this day and age, it's hard to keep friends. It's hard to keep relationships. And it's kind of terrible that we lost them as a comedy duo, because they really showed that two dudes from the hood in the Bronx could rise up and they could have late night TV shows on Showtime, Viceland, a successful podcast, make a brand, and it's also told me that I think I can become more successful if I build a team. It's just hard to build a team when you don't have any money to fucking pay anybody, or you also don't know. I don't know how to fucking recruit. I know it may seem, I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna get an intern at one of the schools over here, right? But you gotta just learn trial by fire, right? I don't plan on making any money off of this for the next 5 years, right? So I could just keep making podcasts. I also want to do live shows. I keep talking about that, and I need to get these panels lined up. So again, San Francisco Bay Area natives, I have a podcast studio in Oakland. I will rent the studio, okay? We can do private dinners at the studio, all right? I'll let you use my equipment if you want to film a podcast. Okay, we'll just rent it from me. This podcast studio is for rent. So if anybody's serious about doing a podcast out here, get yourself one of these Canvas works, all right? And then you can go ahead and put your logo on there, and I'll produce your show for you. All right, we'll talk about pricing and all that shit. But I'm here to make money. I'm here to make art. I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to laugh, cry, smile. There's something too that comes with. Recently, I got called a clown, and I remember my mom telling me when I was young, "Tú no eres payaso de nadie." That's what she told me. She said, "You're nobody's clown." And it's always the people that make the jokes, that do the impressions, and I hate when this happens to them. People will be like, "Oh, can you do that thing? Can you do that thing again?" You know what I mean? And it's like, it's like you're being like a puppet master. You know what I mean? If that person wants to do that impression, they'll do it on their own time. Like I just did a Stone Cold impression. I wouldn't do it if somebody was like, "Hey, do that Stone Cold impression." Just because I'm like, don't fucking tell me what to do. You know what I mean? If we're having fun and like, it comes out that way, that's fine. But usually I've had people just be like, "Hey, do the thing." And I have to act right there on command. It's like, bro, I'm not your fucking dog. All right? Slap the shit out of you. And your spectator, whoever you're telling that you're gonna show this impression to. You know? I try not to be so prideful with that kind of stuff, but it kind of bothers me when people think that they can just like tell you what to do. Like, hey, do this thing now. It's not like, hey, will you do the thing? No, it's always like, do the thing, do the fucking thing, do it now. And then when you don't want to do it, they're like, oh, you suck, you suck. It's like, bro, I'm not, I'm never gonna act fake, right? So if I'm in a bad mood, I'm sorry, man. Like I can't pretend. You know what I'm saying? That I'm in a good mood. Um, Obviously, sometimes you need to if you're in a professional environment. But this is a fucking podcast, man. I'm here expressing myself. So if I'm gonna be a little angry, I'm gonna be a little angry. If I'm gonna be a little calm, sad, I'll be a little calm and sad. Be a little funny, be a little funny. It's all good. But just be aware that the people that make you laugh in your life, like the funniest guys, funniest girls in your life, take care of those people, man, because they honestly like find joy in making you laugh and making you suspend your life for a little bit, even if it's for that 4 seconds that you're laughing. But when you're laughing, you're only thinking about one thing, and that's the coolest part about that emotion. Like when you laugh, you think about that one thing. And when somebody's like, especially when you're listening to stand-up comedy, that compounds when they keep going with the jokes. But like when you're enraged, your mind is racing, going all types of places. When you're sad, same thing. Your mind's going all types of places. So it's truly one of those emotions that keeps you centered, and sometimes I feel like people look at it in a bad way, like, oh, all you do is joke around, or, why are you saying that? Something like that. And I'm not going to sit here and be judged by me trying to find the funny in something. I'm always going to try to find the funny, because at the end of the day, you can look at life two ways, negative or positive. I'm not going to sit here and look at shit negative in a negative manner. There's too much negative shit going on already. Now we got to add to that. Not happening. Not here. So just be nice to yourself, and just know that, if you're listening to this show, I don't know what your circumstance is, but you're probably better off than a lot of people, So I just want you guys should think about that and count your blessings. And I know that sometimes it's hard to count your blessings. I tell myself that in the hardest of moments, and most times the other side of my fucking brain responds with, "What the fuck do you mean?" So I know that it's hard to calm yourself down sometimes, but I promise you it will help you move on through difficult times. All right? So without further ado, I know I keep saying that. Episode 5, Mia Khalifa and Robbie Sandberg, fucking power moves. Change the title of it. All right? This is Sucio Talk, episode 5. Sucio Talk, episode 5, baby. Here we are, 4 down the tubes. You know what I'm saying? 4 super inspirational stories. Started my journey off with Tyler Vorse, then hit up my boy Charlie Apple. Talked to my buddy Matty Kammer up at the Harbor House Inn up in El California. And then this last one with Jason McKinney from Truffle Shuffle. All right. This episode here is with Mia Khalifa and Robert Sandberg. All right. Lovely couple down in LA. Mia Khalifa needs no introduction. Y'all know who she is. Super cool person. The conversation's pretty interesting. Not a chef, which is new here to Sucio Talk, but interesting nonetheless. Then I started talking to her husband, Robert Sandberg, who grew up in Sweden, was a young chef out there, worked at great restaurants, moved over to Noma for a couple of years. Then he ended up working at Franson, and he was part of the team when they got their 3 stars. They talk about how they got together and sort of what the plans are for the future. All right, so super exciting. But before that, I must tell you, I have a word from my sponsors. All right, Truffle Shuffle SF, baby. And the bottom line is, you're invited. Yes, I said it. You are invited. Truffle Shuffle and the Speakeasy present a virtual New Year's Eve bash with canapes and cocktails, baby. This is taking place on December 31st, 2020, the last day of this stinking year. All right? Starts either at 10 p.m. Cali time or 7 p.m. New York time. We'll make it simple out there, all right? So slip into your finest duds and strap on your dancing shoes. This is going to be one party you do not want to miss. The Speakeasy will be live streaming from a secret underground prohibition-style nightclub. Now, for 5 years, the Speakeasy has been hosting San Francisco's most dazzling New Year's Eve parties. This year, the Speakeasy is partnering with Truffle Shuffle to bring you incredible interactive New Year's Eve celebration completely virtual. All right? So this package includes a little bit of food, all right, a little bit of canapé, caviar, cheese, and charcuterie. Sarah and Jason from Truffle Shuffle lead you through creating the perfect arrangement of canapés, caviar, cheese, and charcuterie. Relish in libations, hors d'oeuvres galore, all right? We will be sending you a New Year's Eve celebration box filled with 2 portions of personal balloon drop kit with hand streamers and noisemakers, Framani charcuterie, with Kendall Farms creme fraiche and chives, Humboldt Fog goat cheese with brown butter truffle honey, and rustic bakery crackers with Wild King smoked salmon, baby. Sounds delicious. Part 2 of this extravaganza will be 1920s club-style interactive breakout rooms, baby. Pop in and out of different rooms for an immersive and interactive nightclub experience. Learn to dance the Charleston, have your tarot reading, pick a card, any card, or ask the mob boss for a favor because his daughter might be getting married. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the cat's whiskers, as Jason put it to me. Explore the following rooms there. There's Gangster Business with Sal DiStefano, Flapper Chat with Dorothy, Drag Advice with Emma Peel, Fortunes and Intentions with Lois Lipstick, Magic and Mentalism with Kevin Blake, Dance Hall and Music with Parlor Tricks. Then we got a vaudeville show coming at you. That's right. Grab a booth, sit on down at the Cabaret Show, and enjoy a snappy vaudeville show hosted by our rock and roll MC, Eddie. Now, he'll be joined by tap dancers and other specialty acts. This fun-filled show will surely put smiles on faces. Then Heather Thiel and the Aces will ring in the New Year's with music you can cut a rug to. So grab your sweetheart and smudge in close as you dance the night away. There's no other way to put this, folks. Slip into your finest duds. Put away your technical doodads. Put that phone down. Put that phone down and completely surround yourself in the lives and culture of the roaring 1920s. Interact with floppers, floozies, gangsters, and bootleggers during a choose-your-own-adventure, immersive theatrical experience, and full of extravagance and spectacle. This is the SpeakeasySF.com, or you can visit TruffleShuffleSF.com. Get your tickets now. Spend the New Year's with us as we eat, drink, sing, and dance, and bring in the New Year's with a bang, baby. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, check that out. Should be a pretty cool virtual experience. I know that this year we can't travel as much as we'd like or go to Times Square and just be smushed in a million people. But this is a good way for us to be able to step outside of that and kind of enjoy the New Year's with the
wonderful team at Truffle Shuffle and the Speakeasy San Francisco. All right. Now, before we get into episode 5, I will say episode 6 is amazing. I recorded it with Brittany Cassidy from Birdie G's. She just left there. She was the CDC, opening CDC of that restaurant, as well as the CDC at Rustic Canyon under Chef Jeremy Fox. So a lot of history there. She also talks about her beginnings as a dancer. So pretty cool story for you guys to listen to. That's episode 6. So that will be dropping the Monday following this one. All right. Be sure to keep up with me on Instagram. That's David_Sucio. You can keep up with the podcast at Sucio Talk. Facebook page, Sucio_Talk on Facebook. You can also follow me on Facebook. That's David Guilloty, Guilloty. All right. This podcast is available on Spreaker. It's available on Google Podcasts. But my favorite is Spotify. They're doing a good job for me over there, so I really appreciate it. And please enjoy this episode. I'll catch you on the flip side. And for those of you who have any comments, questions, or concern, you can email me at suciotalk@gmail.com. Willing to entertain any kind of proper conversation. And last time I put a line out, but nobody bit. But here I go again, all right? I want to hear crazy-ass kitchen work stories from you. All right, so go ahead, fill that inbox, suciotalk@gmail.com, no underscore, all right? That's one word, Suciotalk. Hit me up, and your story might make it onto the show, you know what I'm saying? This is intro signing off into episode 5, Mia Khalifa and Robert Sandberg. Please enjoy.
Google Chromebook's computer?
Wait, that's not a Mac?
No, that's a Chromebook.
Samsung.
I don't like Mac because, by the way, I started recording because this
Okay.
conversation's cool. So I started. I don't like Macs or Windows, right? Because they come with all this shit on it, and then you can't ever get anything. It comes slow, and then once you uninstall those programs, it doesn't work correct, right? So with the Chromebook, it comes out like it's like having a phone. No apps, no nothing. Everything is on the internet. Like every time you open, like my mail, it's in the browser.
What?
You know what I mean? So anytime I start a file, it's in the browser. So the downside is that you kind of need the internet to run the programs.
That's most programs, though.
At the end of the day, you know, I have my phone, so that's my Wi-Fi, and you can go anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Wow.
You know?
Use code Sucio for 20% off your next Chromebook.
That's right. Boom! Let's start the advertising right here. By the way, that's Mia Khalifa. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me. I'm here in our humble abode in LA, and drove down today. It was a beautiful drive.
I'm so jealous that you took that drive.
Ocean. But I made the mistake of drinking too much water, so I had a lot of breaks.
You're so lucky you're a guy, though.
Out by the ocean.
Oh my God.
You know. So how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Surviving.
What have you been up to?
I have been up to anything I can do from my couch. I love working from home, and I never want to go back to anything else. So I've been really just doing anything I can from home.
Very cool. So I see your Instagram. You're working out. You got the dogs. You're chilling. You're eating as much food, cooking as much food as possible. Or I guess having Robert cook it for you.
Are you kidding me? You think he wants to come home and cook? He comes home and eats yogurt if it's up to him.
I hear you. I'm the same way. I'm on a coffee diet. I just drink coffee, put a little bit of butter in it. And that's
oh my God. All of you are anemic and need more fiber and potassium in your systems.
When you're going to war, you got to go to war like Napoleon. Empty stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no other way to go cook. You know?
Oh my God.
I know you had the finger tattoos. Did you get those here in LA?
I actually got this one in Napa at a really shitty tattoo shop, and it faded away within like a week.
What was it called?
It was the place next to Oxbow Market. It's like on the street leaving.
Okay.
No offense to whoever you are.
I wish I knew it, but
yeah,
that's awesome. And then the fork and knife.
The fork and knife and the steak.
Sick.
Yeah.
Those are here.
These two were actually in Copenhagen.
Very cool.
With Robert.
Okay. Was that your artist, Robert?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
One of my friends.
Because I think that's one of your most distinguishing kind of things. It's like, oh, the chef with the blacked out arm.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Both
exactly
arms.
what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, exactly. So how long did that take?
Oh man, I think maybe 24 hours ish on both arms, because I've done it. One arm I did 3 times. This one is complete. This one I've only done 2 times, but I have to do it one more time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do it anymore after that, or do they not advise it?
No, I don't want to do. I just want to keep it black. Like, I mean, some people say, "Oh, you should put some like white shading in there."
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to do that.
You should scar it.
Fuck. No, I can't.
What's underneath is way worse.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't that bad.
What is it?
Tribal tattoos.
No.
Well, it's okay, because
It was no trap.
you're an OG white man.
He's a
You're
Viking.
You're from the other side. You know what I mean? You invented this shit.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if anybody here named Chad from Connecticut gets it, he can't get
Oh my
it.
God.
But you're fine. You're fine.
Throwing me under the bus. With lies and shit.
Love that. So, how did you guys meet?
On Instagram.
Oh my God.
We met on Instagram. I was following the Michelin Guide,
Okay.
and the Michelin Guide posted about Franson winning 3 stars,
Yeah.
and they were celebrating. And I was like, "Oh, this looks so cute! It made me cry." So I went to the page. It did. I love seeing people happy, and
That's
like
awesome.
they were so excited. And now looking back, it was Marcus in the video. It was Marcus with Bjorn in the video, I think.
Uh-huh.
So I went to Franson's page, and I gave it a follow because it looked delicious. And then I saw a few rows down, something else looked very delicious, and it was a goodbye photo of Robert.
Oh, shit.
So I then went to his page and followed him.
So you DM'd him.
No, I just followed him and liked some photos.
And then he was like, whoa.
That's how you shoot your shot as a girl.
That's how you let people know. You go back 4 months. And you hit the like, and then you're like, oh,
Exactly.
This person did some research.
Exactly. It was so funny after we actually got together and like started talking. I had to like act surprised and pretend like I didn't know about all these stories that he was telling me about, like winning an award and like traveling to this place. I've already seen it on your Instagram from when I stalked you 258 weeks back.
You're like, I already knew you were my husband before we had this date. You're like, what?
Exactly.
That's awesome. So then from there, like, where did you guys go? Did you guys date for a little bit? Because he was living over there. Did
Yeah.
he move here, or what's?
So all we did was FaceTime for like 6 months. And then I decided to fly to Copenhagen to meet him. And after that trip, we decided, he told me he was planning on opening a restaurant in LA.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this works out great. So it wouldn't be stupid to, continue doing long distance for a little while.
Exactly.
So we did that for 3-4 months, and then he moved to Austin.
Oh, wow. Okay. What were you doing in Austin?
No, I mean,
Waiting for his
waiting.
visa.
She was living there, and I went on a travel, like a tourist visa first, because my real visa was about to get ready. So yeah, I was just spending time with her.
Very cool.
Yeah, while I was waiting, and I think also spending time in America would just be faster for me to get the visa done, and easier to go to government or whatever it was.
I love the communication age that we're in, because you can do that kind of thing. You can FaceTime with somebody from another country, fall in love, before you move in with each other or whatever, take the next step. So, you guys kind of had a good idea that this is the person I want to be with before you came out here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got to know each other on the phone, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really questioned it for a bit, though, when he wouldn't let me apply for us to be on 90 Day Fiancé.
What is that?
Is this
what
the
is
right
that
person
about?
for me? What?
90 Day, I don't know.
You don't know what 90 Day Fiancé is about? Oh my god, it is the greatest show of all time. So, it's a reality show. It is. It's a reality show about, and there's so many different iterations of 90 Day Fiancé. There's 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, after the 90 days, 90 Day Fiancé the other way. But the premise is there is one person in the relationship from America and another from outside America, and they are trying to come and move to America on the K-1 visa, the fiancé visa. And for that, you have to get married within 90 days of application. So a lot of these couples are wholesome and earnest and incredible and beautiful. And then the other half are in it for the visa. And it's very obvious sometimes.
Is that the show where that man became famous? He had
The
like
no
a
neck?
bunch of yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
that one.
Gotcha.
I like The View.
The man became famous because of that show. Good for him.
There's also another man who is even more famous than him, and his name is Colty. Colty and Larissa.
What was wrong with him?
Oh God, his mother. Number one, his mother is really what's wrong with him.
Oh,
Number two, he won't stop putting his dick on the internet.
Oh.
Yeah. At least now he puts it on OnlyFans and not in people's DMs.
So he was sending DMs of his dick.
Yeah, and then he was getting caught, and his fiance found out about it. His then wife.
I gotta say,
I'm invested in this show.
There's many ways to take a dick pic. Okay, for all you gentlemen out there, if you're gonna send a dick pic to a lady, that shit better be glistening. Okay, clean, and you know what I mean. Like I've seen. I remember.
So we don't want to see your stained carpet.
That's what I mean. Like you gotta find a nice place, a background. How about this? Look at Rustic Canyon's Instagram. The way they take the pictures of the food on
We
the
need
floor.
a flat lay of the dick.
Right? You gotta lay it down and take a good picture of it like that. You know what I mean? So that's what we do around here.
Don't be shy. Go to Joanne Fabrics. Get some silk. Get some lace.
Make a hobby out of this. You know what I mean?
Give us a backdrop.
Now, OnlyFans. That's really interesting.
Yes.
I know nothing about it, but what is it?
So it is just a platform for creators to be on. I just joined that site a few months ago, and it's been incredible. It has completely changed my life, and I was able to send $100,000 to the Lebanese Red Cross.
Oh my goodness!
Because of OnlyFans and only because of OnlyFans. So I'm very thankful to that community and very thankful for the platform. And I just love what they're about. You are fully in control of your content. They own no rights to it. You can shut it down at any time you want. You can set whatever prices you want. And there's really no parameters other than, terms of service and things you have to abide by on there.
Yeah.
But I just love the empowerment that is on that site. And not just from the females, from the males too. Like, I came across this TikTok of this guy who does tile work. Like, he actually lays tile in, like, kitchen backsplashes and showers and everything. And I don't know, I was just, like, mesmerized by this tile he was laying on TikTok. And then I went to his page, and I saw that he has an OnlyFans. So I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. This tile guy is probably putting his dick on the internet. And I go to his OnlyFans, and he's charging $14.99 a month to actually give people long-form tutorials on how to do this tile and grout work. So I subscribed.
So you're telling me that you could, like, I could go on there and say...
You could sell this podcast on there. You could charge people a monthly subscription and put this podcast on there.
What?
Yes.
But couldn't they listen for free on Spotify?
Yeah, you could also listen for free on Spotify.
Cool.
Use code Sucio for 20% off your Spotify subscription.
That's right. That would make that Spotify subscription only $44 a month.
Is it that expensive?
No, but it damn well better be. Because
I don't use Spotify.
You should. It's a great service.
It is. No,
If it was
it is the ways of music platforms.
No.
Absolutely not.
No. If there was a platform that if they charge $50 a month, I would pay $50 a month. Like
then join Tidal.
Incredible. What is so good about Tidal?
The music quality. They're the only ones who can output at that certain music quality. They buy their music in like the highest form and output it that way.
Oh, okay. I always wondered what was so good about Tidal. But does Tidal have the same library that Spotify does?
They have a very large library, but they have things that Spotify doesn't because Jay-Z and Beyonce have licensed their music, a lot of their music only to Tidal. And a lot of other artists on Rock Nation. That's kind of like something they squeeze into their contracts, I started to realize.
I mean, that's the king and queen right there. They can pretty much do whatever they want.
And I will pay for anything they tell me to pay for.
Shout out to Jay-Z and Beyonce. I love you.
Mrs. Carter.
That's a beautiful couple.
It is. It is.
Even after all their...
But if you take out Beyonce, it is no longer interesting whatsoever.
That's very true. Who do you think he would date if he left Beyonce?
Becky with the good hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoever that
Some basic ass bitch that wouldn't be able to hold a candle to Beyonce because you can't compete with Beyonce after.
No, you can't.
You'd really have to downgrade big time to the point where people don't even care.
That's like the there's a comedian that has a bit about dating Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend, and then he's like, how am I supposed to ever...
Oh my God!
It's like, how am I ever supposed to do anything to that after Michael Phelps?
That's a great joke if Michael Phelps wasn't wildly religious and married the first girl he knocked up or had sex with.
That is true.
Wow, I thought that story was true the whole time. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Khalifa.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I wanted to believe that this man was telling the truth. I guess I was duped. I'm so man.
They're
you
like
see?
notorious high school sweethearts.
Yeah, that's why I cook food because I don't know anything about that.
I only know about that because he's from Maryland, and it was like our shining state glory that Michael Phelps came from Maryland.
Okay. So, born in Maryland?
No, born in Lebanon.
Born in
grew
Lebanon.
up in Maryland.
Okay. How old were you when you moved to Maryland?
I was 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. So you had gone to school at least somewhat in Lebanon.
Yeah.
What do you remember about school in Lebanon?
I remember I went to a Catholic school, school uniform.
Guilt.
It was blue. No.
No.
Oh my God. It was like, honestly, it looked like an apron with like a short sleeve button down underneath.
It's like a bed sheet.
Exactly. It was not cute, but I was also like 5, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I remember beautiful weather, beautiful people, incredible food. Everywhere smelled like food, like fresh pita. Yeah, I don't remember too much. I think a lot happened after I moved to America.
Yeah.
That like I started to really I started to forget about Lebanon. To now, like certain smells will remind me
Kinda
more of
trigger you
it
a
than
little
me.
bit.
Yeah, than me like thinking back to memories that I can picture.
Okay. And then when you came here, how was that transition? Like going to an American school? Did you have a tutor? Did you have a translator? Like
I was just in ESOL class.
Okay.
I was
Gotcha.
in ESOL, and I was in ESOL for an entirety of 2 weeks before 9/11 happened.
Wow.
And I was in ESOL speaking Arabic.
I saw your so you were there with all the Spanish kids.
Yes,
Basically,
exactly.
Right? And they're probably like, who the fuck is this?
I didn't even fit in with the ESOL kids.
Exactly.
They're
You're
like,
literally
oh,
solo.
we don't trust her.
Exactly. And then 9/11 happens, and they're all like terrorists.
Literally.
Yeah, they were doing that shit at my school too, man. We had these twins that were both Arabic, and they both had beards, and the whole
What?
Like,
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh, wait, you're only 3 years older than me. How did they have beards at 12?
In high school.
Oh,
they had
okay.
beards. In high school.
I was like,
I'm sorry. So this continued from
Yes.
2001 to fucking till we left school. So it's okay. She can. But I remember because you posted something about the other day about them literally rolling in the TVs and putting on the news and having us watch that all damn day until our parents picked us up.
Yep.
Because my parents worked, so I got picked up last at 3:30 or 4, and
by then both towers were gone.
Exactly, and you just watched it over and over,
Yeah.
and then for that whole next week, it was you watched it over and over and over, and that's a phenomenon that I don't know if that's just like the news media that makes that happen for us, but over and over and over again. And now I grew up in a Spanish household, so that means you watch the news from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. until the novelas came on. You know what I mean? So it'd be like you're watching the same news block the same hour over and over again.
I do it all day long too.
Yeah, it's wild. But it's like, do you ever feel like a prisoner of news?
Yes, absolutely. Because when I'm not watching the news, I'm wondering what I'm missing out on. Like not what I'm missing out on, but I don't want to fall behind on anything that is terrifying or breaking or world changing.
Yeah.
Because you just never know when it's coming these days. So I can't turn it off. I can't look away. And I also can't stop flipping from channel to channel. I hop all day long between Fox News, CNN, BBC, and Al Jazeera.
Oh,
and
you watch Fox News? I can't
Of course. No. You need to hear what they are saying.
Yeah, I know.
It will boil your brain.
I flipped it on the other day, and I was like, the punches anymore.
It's an entertainment network.
Yeah, it's just like, we believe this, and this is what we believe.
Yeah.
The news is just another show.
But then you turn on CNN, and you realize, holy shit, as much as I agree with this side slightly more, definitely a lot more, I still cannot help but see the absolute subliminal messaging that they are just trying to rail into people. It's pretty horrendous on both sides. And then you go to the BBC and it's slightly still biased. And then you go to Al Jazeera, which is probably the most reliable and unbiased one out of all of them. But I'm telling you, you got to watch Fox News more. You really have to know what
the enemy is saying.
Yeah, basically.
I get my news from Deezus and Mero on Viceland and Showtime. That's where I get it from. You ever seen that show?
Oh, yes, of course.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Shout out to Deezus and Mero. Like they were a big inspiration to me doing this podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm like, because me and my boy are growing up. We were like, we wanted the show that they have, and I'm like, they did it, And I'm like, anybody could do anything.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
The American dream.
That's true. So, you're living in Maryland.
Dog.
Did you?
My dog is obsessed with him.
I'm like the dog whisperer.
Yeah.
Sucio Milan. Just take care of.
So Maryland.
So, what was life like there?
I love Maryland. It was really cool growing up in a city that was so, I was just really close to DC.
Yeah.
And it was awesome growing up in a very history-rich city with a lot of emphasis on public outlets for things to do. We were constantly going to field trips to museums. We were constantly going to the zoo, constantly getting to see things that I feel like other kids who lived in different states didn't get to do, like the parade at Arlington Cemetery and just little things like that made me very interested in history. And I think feeling like I'm a part of something bigger like that is very that makes me feel comforted, and finding that, and then also finding sports in DC shaped me into who I am today. So I'm very thankful for that city.
Awesome. And do you ever go back? Do you have friends? Do you go back
I
to
go
visit?
back as often as I can,
Yeah.
and it's really fun to go back as someone who left. Like, I left before I could drive in DC. So
Oh, wow.
I never got
Okay.
to really experience the city outside of, like, being a student and going to things in, like, groups like that. So every time I go back, I'm a fucking tourist.
Yeah.
I'm going to the monuments. I'm staying as close as I can to whatever building or museum I want to go to. I'm doing all of the touristy things and going to my favorite restaurants and just making my rounds in the city that I wish I got to, like, experience as an adult.
Mhm.
You know?
The Chinatown is amazing there.
Oh my God, I know. It's
That's like one of the
incredible.
best.
And it's so easily accessible.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, that.
It's right where the Verizon Center is, or whatever the fuck they call it now. They change the name every 2 years.
Yeah, I went to a bar there one time that had so many TVs. The tables had TVs.
Oh, it's probably the Green Turtle.
I was like, this is nuts. I was like, there's like 500 TVs in here.
We like to watch sports.
In the bathroom, there's TVs.
Yes, that's the best.
In the stalls.
That's what I'm trying to convince
gas
Robert on.
stations, TV. I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, can we have 1 second where we don't have TV?
No, we either need the news or sports constantly. Fuck, maybe that's why I am the way I am. Like, I can't work or do anything without at
If
least...
like chatter's going on in the
Yeah.
background about what's going on.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, shout out to Gilbert Arenas for kind of holding my hand through my first venture into the sports world. Doing Out of Bounds with him was so cool. It was literally a dream come true.
Out of Bounds is a panel show.
Yeah, it was the panel show that we were on, and just getting to meet him was the coolest thing ever. Like, I came in for a screen test, and I left, and I was like, if I don't get this, I'm fine with that. I got a picture with Gilbert Arenas. Like, that's Agent Zero. I'm good.
That's awesome. So, this panel show, how'd you get it? How did
Cold email in my inbox.
Really?
Yeah, so thankful I actually checked my inbox, albeit a month later. But yeah, it was definitely one of those, like, pinch me moments.
Yeah.
Because I had been writing for this small website called Fansided for a while. I was doing a Mia's Pick 6 and talking about my 6 most memorable moments from that week in sports, and very, like, obscure random things, not like actually, sitting down and, like, giving hard facts. It was very much an opinion-based column. So I started with that, and then it kind of just evolved and grew, and I started doing things that just made me happy. I had another sports show with a production company called Rooster Teeth, and it was called Sports Ball with Tyler Coe. Shout out to Tyler Coe, who now has a college football podcast. I'm blanking on the name, but I love you, Tyler.
College football podcast.
So sorry.
That is not the name.
He was really fun to work with because I think he is one of the few people who are more passionate about sports than I am.
Yeah.
It is really fun working with people who just, like, Gilbert loves basketball.
Yeah.
For football, and I'm not saying this to talk shit, like he would openly say this on the show, like, I don't watch football in my free time. Like, not my favorite sport. Like, I could, obviously, like, he's a competent, capable athlete. He can pick up on the rules, but he doesn't know everything about it as, like if it was his favorite sport. Whereas Tyler is kind of, like, into every single sport and knows every single thing. So it was more of a variety show, and that is what I liked.
Okay.
We talked about everything.
How do you prepare for that kind of show?
You watch sports.
Obviously, you have to watch the games.
You don't have to. That's the thing. Like, it was so much fun because that is what I was doing in my free time, and then all of a sudden I was talking about my very cold takes, with a friend who also has equally cold takes, and it was amazing. I never felt like I had to work unless I had to watch an Alabama game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Fuck Bama.
Damn. Hardcore hate on here. My next guess is actually from there. So
God.
No, I'm kidding. That's not true.
Robert.
Do you see yourself doing another sports show?
I hope so. I would never shut the door to that. It's just, I don't see myself doing any show right now with everything happening in the world. Like, I haven't been able to think. I can't bring myself to plan far anymore. I just feel like things are just not going to pan out, not going to work out. You never know what's going to happen with the world. Yeah. Like, we just pushed our wedding to 2022. Wow. Preemptively.
It was supposed to be this past June?
It was supposed to be this past June, and then it was supposed to be next June, and that just didn't feel doable. Yeah.
You might as well push it off. I mean, you got each other, and...
Fuck that! I got the dress, I lost weight for the dress, and the deposit is non-refundable on the venue.
Now you just have to keep losing weight until you know.
I just have to keep working out.
Just gotta keep working out.
Once to twice a day.
2 years. It's all good. 2 years
I can't wait to let myself go.
It's like, get ready, Robert. It's coming.
Oh, he's seen it.
Dress?
Yeah. I weighed like 40 pounds more than this time last year.
That just doesn't seem like it equals to anything. Like, it doesn't seem like you're huge.
Oh, I was a big bitch, though. I looked like a linebacker in high school.
Whoa.
I was a big bitch. I was like 160.
Were you on the football team?
I should have been. I was bigger than every other boy.
You like sports, right? You should have been in there. You could have revolutionized the world out there. Man.
I think you need hand-eye coordination. I had the build. I had the stock. I could be out there blocking, but...
So, we were talking when I got here about 12 days.
Yeah.
You were at 12 days this day last year, right? December 7th. What night was that?
It was... Oh, I edited around this so it doesn't sound so mean, but it was some Korean chef. What was his name, baby? Okay, we'll check it.
It was a 3-star chef from Asia.
It was a 3-star chef, and I'm blanking on the name, but the food was fantastic.
Do you remember what day it was?
It was...
Thomas Keller was it?
Oh, yeah, Thomas Keller came in.
Thomas Keller ate. Okay.
Thomas Keller ate. That's the most important thing. He was full.
That's awesome.
He walked in the room and you could hear a pin drop. Honestly, it was like palpable.
That guy's a straight G, man. Every time he comes in the kitchen, he says hello to every single person in the room. And that's I
forget
awesome.
which way like breath works when he walks into a room. Like I was at the French Laundry in August, and he came up to me and my friends' table, and words did not come out, and all I could get out was, "I loved your new masterclass." That was it, just like that, in like that breaking voice.
And he's like,
"Oh, it's so humiliating."
I do like it though. He takes the time to talk to everyone. Like
he
does.
He's
never just like, oh, get out of here. I'm busy. Like he, we did this event one time at the Napa Valley Reserve, and I had made staff meal, and I was gung ho on making staff meal because I knew that we were doing this event with them, and I was like, I'm gonna cook the best staff meal.
Oh my god, what did you make?
And I made what was it? Damn it, I'm blanking on the name. Mexican dish, tortillas. Filling inside
taco,
baked,
burrito,
baked,
enchilada,
yes, boom, with the cheese. That's my VIP staff meal right there. Whenever I want to impress, I make that.
Oh, enchiladas are good.
But I remember he came up to me, he's like, "This is so good," and I was like, "Oh my god," it means the world to me.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but it's.
Do you see that? He signed my menu the first time I went, and I framed it.
On the frame. They got the little pin.
I am obsessed with Thomas Keller.
All right.
Sorry, Robert.
It's okay. He's a nice man. So 12 days, you had your meal, and you've gone there the past 3 years.
Yeah, Robert was we've gone the last 2 years together, and then Robert was there 3 years ago.
Yeah. I was there.
Yeah.
We cooked a great dinner. It was a good meal.
Yeah. And it's been so fun every time we went. We've just gotten to hang out at the table.
Yeah.
At
sure.
like the side table.
The snack shack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the snack shack.
That's so cool. With Martina and Marie and
honestly,
all them.
best seat in the house without a seat.
For sure. You got Bonjoing there.
Yes.
Legends. Shout out to Martina. Shout out to Bonjoing. How'd you hear about the restaurant?
Restaurant at Meadowood?
Yeah. Because I know that you came to eat there before 12 days.
Yes. I went the first time in...
You ate at the counter.
Yes.
You ate inside. Yeah,
yes. And I think it was in 2018, in June 2018.
Okay.
And I heard about it because he had cooked there, and I was going up to Napa, and I wanted to knock off like a couple places off the list, while I was up there. So he highly recommended Meadowood, and it did not disappoint. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen, and just the most incredible hospitality. Like from top to bottom, they are the gold standard for just how it should be, how a well-oiled machine should run in the kitchen and front of house and everything. It was a beautiful experience, and I'm so thankful that I got to go as many times as I did.
Yeah, for sure. You could sort of became a friend of the restaurants, and you'd come in, and I remember when you were coming in with Robert and his parents, you reached out and you're like, hell yeah, come on in. We love to take care of you, and you've been nothing but cool people to us ever since.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I love eating y'all's food.
I mean, yeah, and Bonjoing always comes every year, and that's one of the things I miss, because you see him every year, and it's not that you forget about him when he's not there, but it's like you're so happy to see him because that 12 days is here.
Yes,
like, he's fucking here. He eats the night before we serve like the last meal before 12 days starts. He always eats. It's always like a new menu, things that we would be working on for day 12, which is Chef's Day. And it's always super exciting when those people come in.
Yeah.
You want to impress them because you value their opinion. At the end of the day, like, he's eaten at some of the best restaurants in the entire world and has traveled so many places that there's nothing but respect for his opinion,
he's one of the coolest people in the entire world to
for sure.
dine with, and just listen to what he thinks of a dish.
Yeah.
And
be a lawyer first, and then go into photography, like that takes some balls.
Yes,
you know
it does.
What I mean? Not everybody's just going to be like, oh yeah, food blogger.
First food blogger ever.
Yeah,
ever.
Exactly. That term, like,
he spearheaded the entire industry.
Exactly, and he was at a time when that wasn't a bad word.
Yeah.
Because after a little while, a lot of people started doing it, and then it became kind of like a, food blogger. I don't know about that.
Robert.
They're just having some fun over there.
If that's not getting picked up, that'll sound like fucking static.
It is. It's all good.
Yeah, stop Come on.
This is live right here. It's all good.
What?
The dog's in the podcast. It's all good. Everybody
Run
hears
her
back
credits.
there. The dogs are trying to get in the podcast right now, guys. Okay. So I saw you have some beef with the president from Lebanon.
Oh my God! I didn't know where that segue was headed. Yes, I do. He blocked me on Instagram.
The president of Lebanon blocked you on
the
Instagram.
President.
What is his name?
His name is Michel Aoun.
Michel Aoun.
Yes.
Damn.
Fuck him.
Why did he do that? You think
he couldn't handle the heat?
were you giving him some smoke on that?
I was commenting under a couple photos. I mean, I was doing like the TikTok insults where you kind of wrap a compliment around in an insult by putting like little twinkle emojis around it. So I was saying things like, it's the genocide for me, and like heart eye emojis, and telling him that, or no, asking him if he has woken up yet and if he would like some coffee, because I know he slept through the entire bomb in Lebanon. Because he didn't say anything for 14 hours after, and then he just posted a stock photo of the Lebanese flag that he pulled off Google because it was still pixelated.
Wow.
And that was it. That was all he did. 14 hours later. So fuck him. Fuck him. I'm looking at that mic like it's a camera. Fuck him.
You're looking at the mic like it's his face.
I mean,
fuck him. Michelle Aoun from
God.
Lebanon. Sucio Talk's on the hit list now. It's all good. Come get me, motherfuckers, all right? Come get me. So
Oh my God.
what is so you raise money for the Lebanese Red Cross, right?
Yeah.
And then what other organizations are you working with or raising money for?
I raised some funds for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund when the protests and everything were happening in Los Angeles, and honestly, I've just the Lebanese Red Cross for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm also bookable on Cameo, and all of the money is being donated to the Lebanese Red Cross on there because they are a little bit tricky to donate to because they only accept wire transfers and PayPal and a few other things because they're not directly under the Red Cross umbrella. They're their own separate entity because the Red Cross doesn't stretch all the way to Lebanon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not. It is bad to donate to the Red Cross because not all of the money goes where it should, but the Lebanese Red Cross it's kind of like a McDonald's franchise, how you can just open a McDonald's and that's your McDonald's.
Gotcha.
So that is how it's separate.
Heard that. Hopefully they're making as much money as McDonald's.
God, I hope so. They are doing so much incredible work over there. I hope that they get all the funding that they need, even though it's never enough.
Yeah, for sure. So, the bomb went off in Lebanon. Do you know anybody over there? Did you have any personal calls or anything like that? Or were you more like just upset about what's happening with your nation?
Oh my God, just the state of the nation. It was devastating. I feel like there was definitely a shift within me after it happened and kind of a wake-up call to everything that's going on with the revolution and all of the protests that started in October of last year to try and force reform in the government, get all of these corrupt politicians to step down, kind of put Lebanon on a path that isn't religiously influenced and motivated and just try and salvage what's left of the country. And this just really fueled it into high gear. Like people are tired. I'm tired. I want to have a country to go back to one day and show my kids. I'm sick of this.
Have you been back since?
No, I haven't been since I was like 16.
Wow. Okay. So you left at 8 and did you come back every year?
I mean,
or
everyone spends
kinda...
summers in Lebanon. Like Lebanon is a party country. Like Beirut is popping when bombs aren't going off. Which is like every other year, but you got to take advantage of it when you can.
Yeah, plan your vacation.
Have you seen that Anthony Bourdain episode when he gets trapped in Beirut?
I have not. What happens there?
The airport got bombed and he got trapped in Beirut.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I missed that one. I was working.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of Anthony Bourdain that I need to watch because I just...
It's the No Reservation series, and he goes to Beirut once, and then he goes on a redemption tour to Beirut for the CNN show. I think that one was... Cannot remember the name, but it was the one he did with CNN instead of Travel Channel.
Gotcha, it was the one right before.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Heard that. R.I.P. So what are you working on these days?
I am working on a lot of things.
A couple underground projects.
Let's
call them that. All right.
A couple underground projects, but one of them is food related and more specifically fine foods related. Mm-hmm. And I'm very excited to actually be able to tell you about it and talk more about it.
Oh, for sure.
We want to get caviar and truffles into people's bellies.
That is amazing.
Hell yeah.
Now, is this something that you're looking to do globally or sort of start local here in California?
Start the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We want to work closely with any chefs who are listening and restaurants and eventually direct to consumer, hopefully. But yeah, we want to feed people.
Do it up. Are you thinking about just doing raw product or prepared products as well?
I think raw to start.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because I've always been interested in seeing if somebody can do something on a large scale that is prepared but with caviar. You know what I mean? Like everybody always sells it in tins and they give you the stuff, but because right now at the restaurant we're running a caviar tartine. So slice of bread, buffalo milk stracciatella, the tartine, chive oil, and freeze-dried onion flowers that survived from the fires and all that. And just doing that dish, from Chef Costello, that's what I learned. using caviar as like an ingredient to dress a dish.
Yes.
Instead of just like, okay, here's your caviar, here's your piece of bread, and here's, you know what I mean?
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, we do that at home when we're fortunate enough to have some caviar left over after a tasting or something, but we'll mix it in with some soft scrambled eggs.
Yeah,
And some creme
hell
fraiche.
yeah.
And like some crusty bread and scoop that up. Oh, that's how we like to enjoy it. Or in a French onion dip with Ruffles.
Amazing. We had this grilled spiny tail lobster with that butter over it. What the hell were we talking about?
I don't know, but now I'm starving and high. It's not a good combination.
Spiny lobster. I was like, what the fuck did I just say? No.
Spiny-tailed lobster?
Spiny-tailed lobster, and then we would take the caviar, break it with buttermilk, and then just like sauce it with that and serve it cold after it got grilled in the shell. All Chef Costa's idea, but amazing.
Shout out to Chef Costa.
Shout out to Chef Costa. Who will be on the podcast next, by the way.
Wow. I can't wait to listen to that.
Yeah, it'll be a good one for sure. A lot of years spent with that man, so it's good things. All right, let's see. So you're doing humanitarian work, and through your OnlyFans page, how are you getting the message across that you're raising money?
Oh, I already raised the money. It got sent to the Red Cross.
Oh, got you.
It was
you're doing that on your own. Then you're getting paid,
Yes.
and then you're giving the money to the Red Cross.
Yes.
It's not like
the reason I did it is because I was auctioning off my glasses from my time in the industry, and it was my first time ever using eBay, and I probably shouldn't have done it for something that started going for $100,000. But the first time I put it up, eBay deleted the page, and that made me very mad because it was already at 100,000, and I didn't think it would get back up to that.
Yeah.
And then they reinstated it and protected it, and it did.
Did they think it was some?
Yeah,
somebody
of course they thought it was fake. Yeah.
Okay. And then you were like, "No, I'm actually Mia Khalifa. This is."
Yeah, I started tagging them on Instagram and Twitter, and like
complaining.
Yeah, I was a complete Karen publicly. I was like, I need to speak to customer service right now. And they're like, whoa, calm down.
They're like, we're getting harassed online by Mia Khalifa. You need to call her.
God, I'm surprised they didn't just block me, but no, thankfully they reached out to me. But the first seller was a total creep who just wanted to meet in a parking lot and exchange cash. So I was like,
that's fucking weird.
Pass on that. Next, the bad thing is that eBay only gives you, I think, like a week before they make you move on to the next bidder. And then once I had to move on to I moved on from to 5 bidders, and then it was at 93,000. And at that point, I was like, well, I don't want to sell it for less than that. So I held on to the glasses and decided to donate the 100,000.
Cool. Awesome. And how did you hook that up? Did you just call the Red Cross and say, hey, I'm going to wire you this money?
Well, I had to call my bank and tell them, hey, I'm sending money to a Middle Eastern third world basically country now.
Yeah.
Please don't freeze my accounts.
Yeah.
And then they still proceeded to freeze my accounts.
They're like, that's
so it took 2 fucking weeks to get this wire over. But yeah, it ended up being wired over.
Okay, cool.
Successfully.
Do they let you know sort of how that money is being spent, or are they just like, it's ours now?
Yeah, on their Instagram, actually, they do a weekly infographic of exactly how many people were served, how many things were rebuilt, how many resources were deployed, and how much money was spent each week. So
that's nice.
They're very transparent about where the funds are going and the people who are being helped.
That's nice, because that's always my fear. You give money to something and it's like, is it going to the right places? Is it going into someone's pocket? Are the real people going to see it that need it?
Yeah.
I
mean, that's how it is with the regular Red Cross.
Yeah.
I do not like donating to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to know where your money is going. I'd rather donate to small local charities or GoFundMe's or things like that are started by people and going directly to those people. Exactly.
Yeah, I just recently I donated to a GoFundMe for this family that had lost their house during the fire, and they worked at the farm, this farm I used to work with, and it was so sad because they basically protected the owners of the farm, protected their home, but then their home got destroyed, right? So basically they had a GoFundMe, it became successful, they were able to buy their own house. but I felt the need to. I was like, bring them in for dinner. You know
That's
what I
so
mean?
sweet of you.
Because like people, like hardworking immigrant families. I'm not saying all of them, but for the most part, they're working, right? They're not really worried about going out to eat or like making sure they have dates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like that's something that's lacking in our industry. It's like because we go out to eat as chefs and as cooks but they don't really, I don't think they really see the value in it because they're like, and being at home with your family is awesome, you know what I'm saying? But I think you definitely have to make time for the relationship.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what keeps everything going.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been a night away and for that family to get their mind off of everything.
Exactly.
You got to think about how stressful mealtime probably is.
Oh, for sure. And we were donating to the Boys and Girls Club. We were making meals for them
That's
every
awesome.
week. So, Chef always has really good intentions when it comes to hard times and 12 days. We donate money from there.
Oh, the toy drive. That's
exactly,
right.
The toy drive. We have a toy drive at Charter Oak. We
yeah.
have 5% of proceeds from family dinner, which is our higher end option, which is now on a yurt. So get yourself that.
Oh, I saw the photos. It looks beautiful.
The yurts are sick. Like at first when they came, I was like, I don't know about this.
That's where everyone's staying at our wedding, by the way. It's just a yurt camp.
Cool.
So
That's
when
awesome.
I saw that on the Charter Oak page, I was, it looks so cozy
now, are
and
you,
beautiful.
Tell me this, with your wedding that's coming up, did you have to change sort of the layout of it if we were still in this time so you could still
It is
have
not,
it?
I'm absolutely not doing that.
Okay.
No, that's not even an option.
That's why you moved it so far back.
Yes.
Okay.
There are people coming from overseas. I don't want to, oh my God, just thinking about being near 75 people. Thinking about being near 75 people in general and then in a pandemic? No, I'm terrified for my wedding. Do you know how many people I'm gonna have to small talk with?
Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be a nightmare.
It's gonna be a lot.
It's gonna be so many hello, how are yous? What have you been up to? It's so nice to see yous.
Wow.
I love everyone who's coming.
I had a cousin of mine who had a small wedding and she had the wedding. I couldn't go because I was working. But then I was like, hey, why come you didn't have a bigger wedding? And it's like, it's always because, I got to pay for everybody, man. I don't have money for that. And I'm of the mind of like, I'll pay to come to your wedding. Like, I don't get to go to many weddings. I will pay to have a good time at your wedding. You know what I mean? That's worth it for me. For any wedding, to be honest. Like, there's very few weddings that are not fun.
That's a very sweet thing to say because most people are like, oh God, I have to go to a fucking wedding.
Dude, screw people that say that.
I
man.
love
Weddings are fucking
too.
fun as shit.
They are.
Like, there was this guy that used to work for me. Came in for dinner the night after his wedding, and not only does it get rescheduled because of COVID, he finally has this wedding. He gets a heat stroke during the wedding. The ambulance has to come, fan him off, all that. It was like...
That is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That
is embarrassing.
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. But, at the end of the day, he's with the love of his life. So,
aww.
Why not have the ambulance come?
Yeah. Well, the guest list was mostly Robert. Mine is honestly like 20-something people. Mm-hmm. And I had to fight Robert on getting it down from 100 to 75.
Yeah. So...
This is the social fucking butterfly.
He's just
the
a
family.
popular guy, you know what I mean? He's a chef.
He just has so many friends, and it's so annoying.
I'm also very bad at geography, so I have
Border
no idea.
bombs everywhere.
No idea. I'm always like, I used to date a girl from Sri Lanka, right? And I always was like, oh yeah, you're Indian.
I hate you so much.
I know.
That is the biggest microaggression. It's not even micro.
I'm so sorry. Like I just don't look at maps very often,
That is a macroaggression.
She's just like, I'm Asian, you fucking asshole. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry. So now when people are like, yeah, he's Mexican, I was like, yeah, I'm Mexican.
Oh.
Even though
me and Robert are working on his microaggressions towards his Middle Eastern wife that he's too, innocent and white and privileged to know about. That I didn't know about until I realized, that's why I feel this thing called resentment after someone says something like this. Oh, okay.
I told you, man, he's OG white.
He really
he's from the old country white. He's not, he doesn't have American white privilege, which is much different. then
This is like
you know,
this is the old money version of white privilege.
they had to work for all their privilege. You know, all their smoked salmon companies.
His
they
ancestor
had
was a Viking for this privilege.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, they worked for that. You know what I mean? So all the credit to them. They have no privilege.
Shout out to
ego
Robert.
there. Shout out to Robert. Matter of fact, let's do this,
All
Robert.
right, tap me out.
Get your ass over here.